In this video, we're going to talk about the Hotbox and Maya's marking menus. Inside of Maya, we have the ability to bring up menus that float within our workspace. For instance, let's take a look first at the Hotbox. We can enable it by pressing and holding the space bar. So by holding that down, I now get a floating menu of menus that are located inside of Maya. So you can see just right here I have File matching up to here. So across the top are my common menus. Then I have panel menus here, which are these right here, the same panel menus. Then if we skip down, now I have the context sensitive menus. So this first one here is basically from the menu set of modeling. I'll switch over there. And then if you go down, here's rigging, animation, effects, rendering, etc. So it's a quick way to jump to basically any tool from any menu set. For instance, if I wanted to create a particle animation, I could click on Effects and choose Fire. Now I got an error there because we actually need to attach it to something, but you can see how we can go and grab any one of our tools. Now also inside of the Hotbox here are our most recent commands, which I find really useful that we can jump back and forth and grab those. And then we also have off to the right, Hotbox controls. So we can hide all, and then that takes away all of those menus, and we can just constantly grab our recent commands or go back to our controls. Now with all of those turned off, I want to bring your attention to focus on these white lines right here. And what this is doing is just dividing up the areas. So if I move up to this area right here, the north region, and left click, it allows me to access different panels. So for instance, I could change right here to a single perspective, which is what we're currently on, or switch to perspective and outliner. Now I can go back up and go back to the perspective view, or change to a front view. And let's just go back to single perspective. So wherever you click within these regions, it's going to give you a different pop-up, or at this point, marking menu. So now if I go to the right, you can see I have helpline, command line, shelf. I can access all these different features here. In the south, we have different menus or different windows and editors that we can open up. So if I wanted to open the outliner, I can just bring this up here, choose it with my left mouse button, and then let go. And that's going to activate that. And all the way to the left, we have different masks that we can use. And basically, these allow us to restrict our selection. Now, we also have context-sensitive marking menus. So for instance, if I'm working in polygons and I bring up a polygon sphere, we'll just zoom up here a little bit, and then I right mouse click on the sphere, I get a marking menu that recognizes the object that I'm hovering over and gives me options based upon that object. Now to access this marking menu, we're going to right mouse click on the object and we hold the right mouse button down. Then you can navigate within that marking menu. Once you get to a part or object that you want to use or see, release the right mouse button. So if I wanted to focus on the vertices of my polygon sphere, I'd come over here to vertex and just let go. And now it takes me into a vertex selection mode. If I want to return back to object mode, again, I'll hover over my object, right mouse click, and choose object mode from the marking menu. Now, there are tons of marking menus all throughout Maya, so we can't go through all of them. But you can explore these on your own, and whenever you have an object in the scene, right mouse click over it, see what you get. If I'm in empty space, you can see because I have a polygon out there, it still sticks with my polygon objects. Now, if I want to access other marking menus, like we have a marking menu for our translate, rotate, and scale tools, if I hold W, which is the hotkey for my move tool, and then left click, I then can access the translate marking menu. And then I can just choose options that set different features for my translate tool. And that works the same with any of our transformation tools. For instance, here's rotate. I hit E on the keyboard and that takes me to my rotate tool. And then I left click and I get a very similar menu because it's basically the same type of tools and settings for each of the translate, rotate, and scale marking menus.